cease and desist.
Yeah, cease and desist. And I wasn't like soliciting anything. I'm just putting information out there that's already on the public record, just so all of our brothers that love us and care about us and that's fighting for us can see what the hell we're talking about. Now, we're not lying on these people, but they want us to stop emailing.
And the return of the license, you know, the economic value for time lost because of the grandfather clause, and because of the racketeering statute runs this year too.
Yeah, and just like, you know, you got to be kidding me. How can these guys not just walk away from you like you're like social pariah? Yeah,
man.
And say hi to mama.
How can I be criminalized over something that the state said I can do? Right.
Good evening. Let's be clear on the last day of Black History Month 2022. This, my friends, is a permanent stain on the face of Seattle and Washington civil rights history that my Uncle Otis, an airline engineer out here, warned me of 40 years ago when he told me about the racism he encountered. Seattle Mayor Bruce Harrell knows about all of this. And so, hey, Bruce, you and I have both won civil rights trials, right? I mean, I know I have. I assume you have. Okay? So perhaps you should help these 5 Black cannabis pioneers out. Help get them counsel. You can legally do that. You know, you can do a proclamation. You can do something, right? So, given that your predecessor, Jenny Durkin, did so much to shaft them as U.S. Prosecutor and Mayor, that would be cool of you to do that, right? That'd be the proper and just thing, right? Right. So do it. Now, folks, this is the mission statement of the ACLU. This is the mission statement of the NAACP. And this is the mission statement of the Fourth Estate, a living, breathing entity that I know more about by study and experience than most of the journalists out here who are busy ignoring the plight of the original pioneers in Black cannabis, who are entitled, by dint of ownership of licenses, to representation and recompense for the wrongs that they suffered, just as that white man at Oscar's 2 restaurant or the driver's license litigants for whom the ACLU either represented or for whom they wrote amici curiae briefs. And don't second guess me. I've worked with responsible government people to change First Amendment law, and I've earned a Mayoral Commendation for so doing, among other things, such as Hollywood screenplays that we're working on now.
The plan between the feds and the states and how they work together.
Dude,
from state to state to eradicate African American involvement in the marijuana industry.
Okay. So how you been, Sinjo?
I'm all right. I'm hanging. How are you?
I'm well, sister. I'm well. This Seattle, like I knew it was happening in Seattle. Some very interesting queer guys told me they knew a lot of investors. Okay, and they were like, honey, this town about to change. I did a fashion show video with these guys. Just amazing looking people, man. And just fine women wearing coats, like not bullshit coats, but coats that local people designed, and just I'll post it. You like it, huh?
Yeah.
Good. Well,
Design it here.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah. Oh my God. That is, and you look amazing in it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Fantastic.
Well done.
so they told me, because they knew people in the movers and shakers, and they were like, you're here to catch the last part of Seattle, 10 years ago. And that's absolutely true. I've lit, and I will relight now, the Palo Santo, since you were here. Let's have you describe what happened in your attempts to get help from the NAACP and the ACLU. Give us, like, not the full story, but the highlights.
Okay, let's start with the NAACP. So I heard from the NAACP in September. And after I heard from him, I talked to Hankerson. He is the president of this region, the Western region, Gerald Hankerson. And, he told me about some of the goings on, and that they were about to pen a letter to, Washington State, Jay Inslee's office and everything about the LCB. And he put the letter out, which, I found out later he was penning that letter before anyway, because I think the NAACP wants to have their hands in the cannabis a little bit, just to help everybody, to help us all out, though, of course. $500 million to do their own social equity plan and help us all out, but they won't talk to us. They won't activate their legal team or their legal fund, and they definitely know who we are because we've sent them the affidavit that's on the record, several emails, and word is on the street that they don't want anything to do with me because I dropped some names on that Senate committee hearing. That's just a word on the street. It may be true, may not.
And they helped me then when I called them 2 years ago and 10 years ago.
Wow.
That's the thing. They're paper tigers, guys. They're paper.
They
tigers.
told me they don't get involved in that kind of stuff.
But yet and still, they participated in the crashing of I-502 from jump. So that's false, right? So meanwhile, guys, I'm showing the letter real quick just because I'm documenting this right now. I'm showing the letter from Gerald Hankerson, screen share, Alaska, Oregon, Washington State Area Conference, September 13, 2021, addressed to Jay Inslee, the legislature, and applicable state agencies and entities, And he talks about it being 9 years. He says there's 560 retail licenses, but less than 5 are awarded to African American. He goes through it all. And then, we are done begging for what we've earned and deserve. And we will be diligent. We're going to do all of this. Okay. So now, please tell us what happened recently when you wrote the NAACP.
We got no feedback. The most recent thing that happened in the last few days was we sent some stuff over and we got some feedback, but it was from somebody from the Washington State African American Cannabis Association, and they said, keep us off of the emails. We don't want it.
In fact, he said cease and desist.
Yeah, cease and desist. And I wasn't soliciting anything. I'm just putting information out there that's already on the public record, just so all of our brothers that love us and care about us and that's fighting for us can see what the hell we're talking about. Now, we're not lying on these people, but they want us to stop emailing. And as far as the ACLU, them guys, I got to take my hat off to the ACLU because at least they replied back, but they replied back with a damn lie. They said, we don't help. We can, give you a list of lawyers, but we don't get involved.
That's what they told me too.
But wait, no. Remember, they said we did not represent. So let's go back in background, okay? You asked them for help because, let me go to gallery view for a second. Hold on. You asked them for help because you knew they had written a brief for Oscar's restaurant owned by a German immigrant, a white man, who LCB wrongly took his license. He had done nothing wrong. And much as you guys have licenses, they wrongly took your license. But these guys wrote an amicus brief, got media for him, followed the case, and basically helped him get more than $500,000 for lost wages and lost everything, and press and everything. But you guys, as Black men who paved the way for medical cannabis with licenses, which give you certain rights, privileges, and immunities, all you lawyers out here watching me, I'm right. And if you don't do the right thing, that shame is on you. It's not on my people. I'm telling you right now. Yes, and you know it.
And this is how they all do it, right? Like they did in Oklahoma yesterday. They went in there, they kicked if you read all the names, they're all minorities, right? So, and now, because they're getting ready to start rec in about 6 months in Oklahoma, they're about to give out the licenses in 6 months. They went through and kicked out all the minorities yesterday, trying to act like they're doing crazy, crazy shit. And now they are and this is what they did. The feds came in and partnered with the state and, wrote all this stuff about them. Ain't no proof of none of it. And they're sitting there. Oh, they were shipping shipments out of state to states that were legal marijuana was located, but they're not supposed to be delivering it. And they moved here for that purpose. They moved here not to be legal in the medical industry, but to do illegal.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And these big-ass processing companies are sending marijuana all over the fucking country. These big-ass processing companies that are growing weed are literally, you're not supposed to be doing interstate travel. But look at Berner. He brought 20,000 pounds of weed from California to Seattle.
Because he got that label, Cookies label, and they have a store up here in Tacoma?
They're up here in Edmonds and Mount Lake Terrace.
Now, but before he had those stores here, that's how we got him all supplied and going, his shit going. He bought 20,000 pounds of weed up here and sold it to the stores.
Exactly. Ain't that federal?
Dig it.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course it is. And listen, guys, they called in a Breon show one day and tried to some dude talk about, you want to get some Cali weed? Get some Cali weed. Call me, I'll bring it, right? See it. Cease and desist, right there where I'm hovering, right? And he's vice president of the whatever, Wasaka, whatever. That's Jim
Buchanan
and them, right? And he says cease and desist. And I'm like, whoa, dude, we're just telling you about a legal case. That's the same way that chump reacted. Greg Forrester from Cannabis Observer. He tried to threaten me also. Greg Forrest, I think it is. And I was like, threaten me with spam. This is the fact that LCB admitted that they don't have authority as for emergency situations and are not cops. How was that me spamming you? These guys are all in it. All right. So let's get to the punchline, though. We're getting there, right? The advertising dollars and the medical that are coming in, and they're all riding that sugar tea. All right. That's what they're riding. I could say it less elegantly than that, but it's what it is. All right. So what it is I write back to Phil Petty and I said, no, you're wrong, dude. I said, what you mean to say is please remove me from the mailing list. You can't tell Kevin Shelton, me, or anybody else who we can and cannot talk to. Stop. Dude! So then he writes back and says, yes, thank you for clarifying. I'm like, what are you? I won't swear. All right. But I'm like, what are you that ignorant that you don't know what cease and desist means and how you misapplied it? Then I wrote back and I said, but why are you so adverse? I said, the argument is legitimate and was originally part of the equity discussion. I remember it. Do you guys remember it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not file an amicus brief for the wrongfully displaced blacks in cannabis, especially given that your former lawyer told you that you had a strong case, Kevin's lawyer, on the grandfather clause, before he said he was too scared to sue LCB, You gotta be kidding me. How can these guys not they just walk away from you like you're like social pariah?
Yeah, man.
The plan between the feds and the states and how they work together.
Dude,
from state to state to eradicate African American involvement in the marijuana industry. That would be a great.
Yeah. Guess what? This is perfect timing for that. Check it out, guys. This is what John Novak conveyed to me, because you remember one of the reasons he's a medical patient is because he has a traumatic brain injury. So he remembers things fragmented, and they come to him when they come to him. And I forgot a couple years ago, he told me about this situation here, but he had this meeting. I'm just going to read it straightforward. And it involves our buddy, Vicky Christopherson, and that lawyer from that Miller Nash firm, those guys who never talked to me either, right? It involves them. So let's put it on the record. Deidre Finley, she was the owner of Farmers Market in Black Diamond, got a meeting with her state representative. His name is Rep. Christopher Hurst, Hurst, a former drug cop. He was chair on the State House Commerce and Gaming Committee. Deidre was nervous about meeting him and asked me to tag along. This was back in the first week or so in January of 2014, just before the legislature was starting their new session for the year. All right. You can mute if you want. It's got like 1 more minute. In that meeting, he told us, again, he being Representative Christopher Hurst, H-U-R-S-T, he told us he had a 10-year plan to, 1, bring out everyone in the background or underground market so nobody could then go back into hiding, 1. 2, run everyone that gets licensed on a hamster wheel of over-regulation, so all the mom and pop businesses would either go broke and or forced to sell their license, and then turn over the entire industry to 1 or 2 large corporations in the name of safety and security, like Merck. And so now we look up, and that Nate Miles, who you said the NAACP used to call him Snake Miles. They told you that, right?
Yeah, Snake Miles.
Yeah. I was like, why am I gonna like pull a punch on these Negroes? They never talked to me. What have they ever done for me? I'm gonna tell the truth, and they know it, and they hate it. All right. So Merck. So like I say, that Snake Miles, he's a Eli Lilly, right? And we saw the other. I always post it that now that stocks are up 100% for who are these jab fuckers?
Pfizer.
I call them the primary jab fuckers. Yeah, Pfizer, right? Those guys, their stock went up 100% since 2018, right? And it's just like the mortgages and all the equity and all the mortgage-backed securities that all the judges and the municipal funds were involved in. They call them CAFR accounts. I mean, it's like all of that stuff it's the same thing again. So they're making all this money, and now they're going to turn around and take and use that money they made off of coronavirus to buy up all the weed. Pfizer just put in $7 billion, and that's nothing to them. My summation, it's a master plan, and they're going to screw everybody. But once again, they've always screwed the blacks a little or a lot harder. All right. And we have to be in tune with people who want to listen to us. There's no reason for NAACP and ACLU to be backing away from this. They should be thrilled and honored to be a part of this if they really have that type of chutzpah and intellectual and moral.
But they want something, and they don't, unless they're getting something out of it, they don't want to be any part of it because they know good and well what's been done.
Right. And
Sammy's still here.
Yeah, Sammy, you need a comment.
Yes, I'm still here. I just wanted to add one thing. I really thank you, Kevin. I think this is great, but I just want to add one thing, and this is, I mean, it's similar from what we're saying. I just want to push in a different way and different angle.
Okay.
I want to embarrass those, if it's social media, like those channel news and all of them, and we can create something, even if it's something to show our shop and name and what we are, and to have poster to show everybody walking by and its color in front of,
do a video
or by the sidewalk for those channel news, for example, 5th Avenue, 4th Avenue, by the mayor office, by whatever. And next time we do it in Olympia. It just exposed them. Hey, you don't want to do it. This is the same way I embarrassed the mayor of Seattle, the ex-mayor, not this one.
Yeah.
There was
me
speaking.
too.
I went in front of
way.
him and I spoke about what it is. And the media, they don't like me since that day.
Yeah, I
They
agree.
didn't like you before then. Don't get it twisted, Sammy. They didn't like you before then.
Yeah, true. And I've shot so many videos in those venues. They don't like it either. I mean, it's legendary.
Well, it damaged their campaign. They will like it because it damaged the campaign. The voter, they're not going to vote for that state legislator. Every state legislator scared from his paycheck. You are not pushing just the news. You're pushing those politicians. Okay, you don't want to do it for me? Nobody voting for you. You stink. It's a dirty game. The other thing is, I don't want to say that again, but I want to say this one.
All right. He's off. Sindro, back to you. We're running out of time.
Yes, I was gonna say, fun fact. Relating back to the agents, the LCB coming in with their badges and guns. When I got busted by our buddy Jung, Agent Jung,
Yep.
In fact, him as well. He had his little badge and his little pew pew pew. So,
and you know why they got you? Because you got red hair. They got this thing. I'm telling you. If you would have been blonde hair, blue eyes, they wouldn't have been messing with you.
Fucking with the Irish.
I got here in blue.
Always fucking with the Irish.
I know.
Hey, listen, but Jung
I
did
just-
something honorable. Jung did something honorable and quit and exposed their ass.
Yes,
Yeah, see,
that's
I don't.
right.
I'm
John
not
who?
mad at
John
him.
Jung, the agent, the one I took his deposition on Facebook. That dude.
Oh, yeah.
He quit and lit them up, man.
You see, I'm not mad at him per se. I mean, it
Yeah.
sucks
Yeah.
that he didn't have the authority to do what he did towards me.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
You ain't gonna like him just because he quit after he did it to you.
yeah,
No, he didn't
like,
though. The point is
when
he
he
didn't
busted-
though. He's the one that exposed it.
Yeah, but when
That's why he
busted
quit.
me, he did show compassion in a sense, because like as soon as he came in and everything was announced what was happening, I was like, oh great. I was like, I'm gonna be getting fired. Like I already knew, like that's just the shop's policy. And he's like, no, he's like, I don't want to see that happen. He goes, some people like are the best employees after they make these types of mistakes, It's just an
What'd you do?
accident.
They set you up to sell somebody under 21?
Basically, yeah.
Yep.
Did
And I
they
got
have fake ID and shit?
All
I
that.
did the whole thing.
All
I
that.
ran it through the scanner, got a good beep with the scanner. I looked at it myself. I ran it through a secondary person. Yeah. So nonetheless, he was very compassionate during the whole thing. The only thing that upsets me about him is that he was just being a little fakey pants, like if you don't have the authority, don't fucking act like you do.
For real.
Well, what's really what you got to question is this: why are they making ID so undetectable and then charging you with a crime when you can't detect it?